used to sort of talk about it, but not really to do it, like sort of as a fantasy kind of thing, you know what I mean? And then it was Anna that heard about the doctor, and she was the one that told me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it if you're going to do it, you know? So we decided to do it together, I guess.
I think the first time we decided, we were talking about it, must have been when we were doing our makeup at the restaurant in the mirror, and we're like, gosh, I hate my nose. And she said, I hate my nose too. And then, you know, we had another thing in common.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Whenever we're taking pictures, even if we're just partying or I'm with my son or whatever the circumstances are, I'm always like, okay, is my nose going to look good from this angle? Or is it going to look really bad from this angle? You know, like that's what's going through my head. And that's not really a healthy thing. Like, I really would like to get past all that crap because I'm aware of it all the time. Even when I sit on a bus and I see someone, I'm aware of like which side they're seeing of me. It's ridiculous.
She most wants this bump leveled off, which we will do, and I'll mark the other nasal bone, and the object of the exercise is to make this one the same length of this one while taking the bump out.
I expect to be more comfortable with my own face and with my own image after the surgery. I expect to have the nose that I've always wanted, which I don't really know what it is, you know, I just know that it's not this one.
She has a reasonably pretty nasal tip, but we are going to do my special operation to get that reduced, and that's probably about it.
My family back home has no idea, and I didn't want to trouble them to tell them that, oh, I'm undergoing some sort of surgery, because they would worry too much about me. I was born in Romania, in Transylvania, and I grew up there with my grandparents. So I finished high school in Romania, and then when I turned 16, I came to Canada. My family always encouraged me to do whatever I liked, you know, and I had a knack for drawing, and I always liked drawing the things that were around me. So since I was around it with such beauty in nature, especially, and the people, you know, in Transylvania, people are very, very distinct looking. So I've always tried to capture that. Did Evelyn teach you that song? Yeah. Since I was a little girl, my nose bothered me, and that's because my aunts and my uncles always used to tease me about my nose, you know. They made fun of it, they referred to it as a potato nose, as a tomato nose. I believe my family was just sort of playing around, you know, and teasing me, and I didn't think they thought that it would have a big impact on my life. They always made a reference to my nose looking exactly like my father's nose. I don't remember my father being part of my life because my parents separated when I was only 2 months old. I wasn't a great fan of my father at that time. I only knew him from things I heard, and those were not very good things, you know. I didn't want to be like him, and I certainly didn't want to look anything like him. Throughout my teenage years, I became very self-conscious because I realized that for my face, you know, it was way too large, and I used to cover it up with my hand. You know, I didn't want to smile, I didn't want to laugh, I didn't want anybody to see me from profile. I just thought that I was really ugly, and I hated when people took photos of me. A perfect nose would be something that would make you happy. You know, perfect nose should be something that is not very different from what you're born with, rather more defined, more chiseled. You know, it's just like a diamond that you find and you sort of like rough it up and shape it up, and it becomes beautiful and sparkling.
I had a great childhood. I went to a private school in Sydney. Every vacation we'd holiday around Australia with my family, so I got to see all the different parts of Australia first before I travelled overseas, which was good. I was in kindergarten, so I was about 4 or 5, I think. Yeah, 4 or 5. And I was playing on the jungle gym, swinging upside down, and swung too far back, hit my face on one of the bars behind me, and then hit my face on the ground again. I didn't really notice anything until I was about 12 or 13 when my friend turned around to me and said, "Oh, I'm so glad I have a small little nose, not like yours." And that's when I was like, "Oh, what's she talking about?" I looked in the mirror and I was like, she's right. So, and it made me feel horrible. It just made me feel ugly, or I don't know. I realized when I was 7 that I wanted to be a professional dancer. My mother gave me a book on the first 50 years of the Royal Ballet Company, and I used to look through that practically every single day. From Australia, I sent a videotape to the National Ballet of myself dancing, and they viewed it and they said, "Come on over." There's so many dancers out there looking for jobs, trying to do anything, that one little thing can make or break you. My nose stopped me from getting jobs. I just felt like I didn't fit into the mold that they want dancers to fit into. It's not as aesthetically pleasing as someone else's nose that's straight. And also, with commercials and stuff like that, I wasn't sent to them because I didn't have the, little petite little face. And also it gave me less confidence, so I go into auditions and I wouldn't go for it as I should have, because I didn't feel that I looked the part, or that they were going to choose a prettier girl kind of thing.
I met a photographer about 2 years ago, and right after he introduced himself, the first thing he said to me is like, "Oh my God, you would be such a pretty girl if only you didn't have that nose." So that sort of struck me, and I was thinking that no matter how much I try to forget about my nose, once in a while it would always pop up, and it was always a reminder of something that I didn't like about myself. When I go out on a date, I leave my nose at home. I don't think about my nose as my failure or whether it's going to get me somewhere. I try to leave my nose behind. I decided that the year 2000 would be the year of change. A lot of things had happened. I separated from my daughter's father. I started being a freelance makeup artist and opened up my own business. So I decided that the year 2000 would be like a total turnaround for me.
I think it's a good thing that we're both getting it done together, because we've talked about it for a while. Yeah, we can support each other over it. Makes it more fun too, actually. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do it, and then she came to me one day and she goes, "This guy told me about this doctor, he's really good, he's done 8 of her friends," and she's like, "I'm gonna do it." And so at that point I'm like, oh, she can't do it and I'm not going to do it, So I'm like, I'm going to do it too then. When the actual day comes, I know I'm going to be nervous. But I've wanted it for so long that I'm like, I'm not going to waste any more time thinking about it anymore. I'm wishing that it was different and this, that, and the other. I'm just going to do it, and then whatever happens, happens,
Oh, I just can't wait to have the surgery, I'm a little nervous just because I don't know how long the recovery is going to take, and I'm very busy and I have a very busy lifestyle, so I want to go out and do things. I don't want to stay home bandaged up.
I think that it will change people that she hangs out with, I think, in certain ways.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Hopefully, Davina's going to start looking at herself as a beautiful woman and concentrating on the beauty within, forget about what she's going to look like on the outside, because finally she's going to be satisfied with her outlook, so she'll be able to concentrate on the better things. So you're expecting me to back out tomorrow?
I hope you do. I hope last minute you say, "I've changed my mind, I'm beautiful."
I won't.
that off there? All right, off you go. Now I'm a personal trainer. I work with people trying to improve their physiques. Mostly it's just for the look. I mean, people come to me because they want to look better. It's not really because they want to become fitter or healthier. It's all based on looks, really. I just want to try my hand and see how I can do with commercials or just like for magazines, for fitness. I wouldn't be going into doing commercial work as I am now because I just don't feel confident enough, and I know that certain lines and angles I don't look right. So the surgery already has affected my plans.
Anybody want this last slice of pizza? The way I feel about Davina's nose right now is I don't really find any problem with it. I can look at her and I don't see her nose, and it doesn't stand out to me as a flaw in her appearance or on her face. But I could, you know, she wants it, and I can see why she would want to. Like, just wants it straight, I guess. So.
3, 4, 5. I think he realizes that I'm just doing it for myself. So if it's making me happy, then he's happy with it. He's been very supportive.
I am happy for her, but it wasn't something that surgery was never something that I thought about for somebody or would recommend for somebody or that sort of thing. So
this is the only one that I want to do. I know a lot of women that have had breast implants as well, but to me there doesn't seem much point to that because you're doing that for a man, or you're doing it for somebody else, really. For me, this surgery is just for myself, so I feel better about myself.
Yeah, this doctor has been practicing for over 20 years, and he's actually operating from 2 different hospitals.
Do you like him? Like, do you trust him?
Yeah, I trust him. He's very professional. He doesn't have a nose job.
I think your nose is perfect. I don't think there's absolutely anything wrong with your nose at all. No, like, I don't know, everybody always says how beautiful you are. Like,
so you think plastic surgery is mostly for like...
I'm not a huge fan of cosmetic surgery, like, in general. If it's gonna make you feel better, then I'll support you in it, but I don't think you need it.
So you're expecting me to back out tomorrow?
I hope you do. I hope last minute you say, I've changed my mind. I'm beautiful.
I won't. I've always liked doing makeup. I used to do my aunt's makeup and my sister's makeup since I can remember. You know, it's something that a girl just does. I realized it was the right career for me because I never got bored, you know. I enjoy going to work, and I can't believe that people actually pay me to do that. It's really hard when you work in the fashion industry because you're working with people that are regarded as beautiful. You know, these people are with agencies and they're officially beautiful. Once you're a model, you know, you think you're it. So if you work in that industry, it's very important to be very confident and comfortable with who you are. I think it's very important to keep in mind your background, where you come from, and what your nose should look like in terms of your ethnicity. And to not try to change it around to make it look like a magazine nose, but more suitable for your face.
One thing you may notice is that the nose is pushed off to the side a bit, and there's a fracture line. I don't know if it's going to highlight for your camera here from her old fracture. I can feel it. It's a bunch of rough edges which are solidified. So Dr. Young's going to put you to sleep, and I'll do the rest of the work, okay?
Okay.
And there are a number of access points to the nose. We make a series of incisions that allow us to actually see everything, even though it looks like a tight little compartment. So what we have here is the lower lateral cartilage. This is a horseshoe-shaped structure. It starts here, goes through. This is the tip. By resculpting this, we can usually get a predetermined shape to the nose. Now, it's most important in thicker tips to take off the soft connective tissue. And what I'm trying to do is take the cartilage, let's save the underlying skin, which is the lining of the nose, and out it comes. I have the same routine for everything. Grab that, please. It's sort of part of the surgery as witchcraft theory. If you got a ritual that works, keep doing it. If the ritual that doesn't work, you should change it. Reduction of the bone is usually done in like a carpenter would do it, with a little chiseling and movement. The cartilaginous part of the bone. And the bone, we do the good old-fashioned way with sheer muscle. Go ahead. It really feels perfect. We are done. Thank you very much. My feeling is that the length of this nose is a little bit long for her face. It should be 1/3 of the vertical height, so we're going to rotate the tip up a bit, and we're going to make it just a tad better looking by doing a tip operation. So these are my markings.
I'm a little nervous, you know, because, I don't know, like anything, there's things that can go wrong with the surgery, like everyday things, and I don't want to go into it and come out of it worse off than I was before and be saying to myself, oh, why did I ever do this for? I
don't know what people feel is a difficult nose, but we in the industry feel that thin-skinned women with strong cartilage, which is what she has, produce in the long term, the most difficult problems. So I'm going to be very conservative down here, and that's not always my nature. This tends to be an operation of young people. If I'm going to take a large nose and reduce it, we do not cut the skin. So the skin envelope remains the same size as we started. We count on youthful skin to tighten around the new nose, and it tends to do that. And this is her bump, and it matches up to what we wanted to remove. This part's the bone, this is the softer cartilage. So to this point, we've touched up the tip, taken the bump out. The nasal bones are already separated through here. I've fractured them across here, so all I have to do is follow my dotted lines, and it's done. Let's start on this side. Now with my finger, I know exactly where the end of this osteotome is, so don't get nervous. Just make sure. Oh, you got your sound effects. Now everything's where I want it. In my hands, it's always under an hour. The people I trained with, one in Beverly Hills, one in Miami, could take anywhere from 12 minutes to 2.5 hours. And in my humble opinion, I don't think there's a direct correlation with the amount of time taken and the quality of results.
Yeah. All done. Okay? Just open your mouth. Open your mouth wide. You take that tube out. There we are. Breathe through your mouth. Okay? The operation went very well.
After the operation, I was almost afraid to look in the mirror because I didn't know what to expect, you know? After the operation, I was almost afraid to look in the mirror because I didn't know what to expect, you know? I've been waiting for this for such a long time, and then finally I gathered the courage and I looked and I was just like, wow, all I could see was the tip of my nose, you know, and it looked much smaller than it used to be before, and the shape of it was different, so I was very happy right from the beginning. If I had to wear bandages for a whole year, I would still do it. It was definitely worth it, and it was not painful at all, so I'm very, very surprised that it went so smoothly. I didn't expect it to be so easy. You know, I thought that, I mean, I know it's a major operation and it's right in the middle of your face, so I can't imagine how there's, you know, little bruising, no swelling, no cutting, nothing, you know, not even a scar.
I wasn't shocked because he had warned me beforehand, and I was actually quite lucky. I didn't have a lot of bruising straight off, but I had a huge bandage right there, and actually it was more frightening for my son, I think. But after he took the bandage off, it looked great. I wasn't expecting him to change the bottom half so much, but I guess that he had to because the top half changed. Like, I was really expecting to have exactly the same nose, but just to be straight. But now it sort of goes up a bit more. But I'm actually happier with that, so he made the right decision.
Tell me about where you're going to go today.
I got this audition for some .com company. So I don't know. I don't even know what I have to do yet.
Are you auditioning for a dancing part?
Yeah, dancing.
So what sort of look do they want?
I don't know. Do a natural one for me. Yeah, I just started back. I've been twice.
Davina's turning 30 this year, and when you see her, you do not think 30. You know, it makes her look at least 5 years younger. It gives her a whole different youthful attitude, and it so goes with her personality.
No, it's pretty good.
It looks very nice.
Oh,
Very
perfect,
natural.
Anna. Wicked. It was good to have someone else to go through it. You know, I don't even know if I would have done it by myself. So, and I'm very glad that I did. So I was really glad they did it together.
I'm almost sorry that I didn't get it done sooner, you know. I'm very, very happy that I did it, and it makes me feel better about myself. I can laugh and I can look in the mirror and I can, you know, I'm really proud to say that I had it done.